Good afternoon. Dear friends, thank you for being here today. We gather at a time when our people in Palestine are living through unimaginable suffering. Gaza today is devastated. Whole neighborhoods turned to dust. Families wiped out in seconds. More than 64,000 people have been killed, at least. Hospitals, schools, universities destroyed. People are thirsty, hungry, and trapped. And yet, in Europe, the new resolution at the European Parliament refuses to call this what it is. It speaks of malnutrition, as if famine were not being deliberately created. It condemns Hamas page after page, but Israel's crimes, the bombing of civilians, the starvation of children, are barely mentioned. It refuses to suspend agreements with Israel, refuses to stop arms exports, refuses to ban settlements trade, and it even conditions Palestinian statehood on Europe's approval while Israel's rights are taken for granted. This is not neutrality. This is not justice. This is a resolution that protects Israel and erodes Palestinian rights. And we have responsibility to act, to tell your MEPs to vote no. In the West Bank, life is also unbearable. Just recently, Israel's far-right finance minister, Bezalel Smotrich, stood at a press conference in Jerusalem and said openly that Israel plans to annex 82% of the occupied West Bank. He called it a preventative step to block any recognition of Palestinian state. He didn't hide it. Maximum land with minimum Arab population. And it's not just words. On August 20th, Israel approved the massive E1 settlement project designed to split the West Bank into two parts, cutting Ramallah and Nablus off from Bethlehem and Al-Khalil, Hebron, and isolating East Jerusalem. Meanwhile, settlers, armed and protected by the IOF, attack Palestinian farmers, burn their crops, and steal their land. Since October 7, more than 1,000 Palestinians have been killed in the West Bank and thousands arrested. Workers who used to cross into the 1948 occupied territories, so-called Israel, to earn a living were expelled overnight without pay, without rights, left without nothing. Everywhere there are checkpoints and gates. Sometimes an entire city or village is locked in or locked out, depending on the whim of a soldier. This is not just an occupation. This is an annexation, apartheid, colonialism happening before our eyes while the world looks away. Inside the 1948 occupied territories, what the world calls Israel, 2 million Palestinians live under another kind of repression. If you post something on social media, for example, you risk being arrested. After October 7th, people were stopped at checkpoints and had their phones searched. Activists are called in, intimidated, told they should leave the country. They are threatened in personal ways, even through their sexual orientation, to make them feel unsafe in their own communities. Israel tries to make young Palestinian queers feel safe in Tel Aviv, as if few clubs and rainbow flags could protect us from the bombs, the arrests, and the disposition in our homes. This is part of Israel's cynical strategy of pinkwashing, showing off tolerance and LGBTQ+ rights to distract the world from its ongoing apartheid and the systematic erasure of Palestinian lives. I have felt some of this pressure myself. I just came back from visiting my family in Nazareth. Their young Zionist security girl kept asking me again and again, why not staying in Belgium? You said you like it there. And when I said I don't know yet, she repeated the question 10 times to make it sure I stay in Belgium. Their message is clear. Forget Palestine. Leave. Move on. But we don't move on. We meditate, we resist, and we keep speaking about Palestine. We believe deeply that one day Palestine will be free, liberated by its people, with the support of allies around the world. Even with Palestinian society, Israel uses a strategy of divide and rule. For 77 years, it has let crime spread in Arab towns, kept people busy with survival, encouraged mistrust and division. Just last year alone, more than 250 Palestinians were killed in violent crimes inside Palestinian towns in 1948 territories. Already this year, dozens more. The Israeli police do nothing. They let gangs grow, they let fear grow. This is not neglect, it is policy. The goal is to weaken our unity, to keep us too occupied with survival, to organize against to avoid us organize against Zionism and imperialism. But we know this game and we refuse to play it. Jerusalem is another front. Families are pushed out of their homes. Houses demolished. Few months ago, Israeli forces arrested the owner of the educational bookshop, a beloved bookshop in Salah ad-Din Street, simply because it carried books about Palestine. Just last week, they arrested the owner of a cafe and bookshop in the New Gate called Gateway. Imagine, even knowledge, even a book becomes a crime. And all of this serves one goal, to erase Palestinian existence and memory, to kill our people, arrest our youth, destroy our landscapes. They bulldoze ancient olive trees, trees older than their state. For us, the olive tree is not just a tree. It is a memory, it is family reunion in a shade, it is the land passed from grandparents to grandchildren. To destroy an olive tree is to attack our roots, our traditions, our very identity and memory. This is why boycott is so important. Cultural, economic, and academic boycott. Belgium must follow it. Just 2 days ago, a victory showed us the way, the cancellation of a concert by Israeli conductor Lahav Shani in Ghent. The message was clear, the boycott works. Every refusal, every cancellation, every cut is a step closer to justice. Comrades, the struggle of Palestine and for Palestine is not far away. It is here in Europe, the parliaments, in our cities, in our choices. Gaza, the West Bank, Jerusalem, 1948 occupied territories are all part of the same story, the story of people who refuse to be erased. We will not be silenced. We will not be divided. And we will not stop until Palestine is free from the river to the sea. We will not rest, and we will not be silent until every Gazan is safe, until they can sleep in their homes, in their beds, without fear of bombs. We will not be silent until Israel faces real consequences, until it is sanctioned, until it is excluded. Gazans must be safe. This kind, respectful, generous people must be protected. Thank you.